Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Steelers, especially in recent seasons, one thing that's been clear is that they're always looking for ways to reload, to adapt, and to stay competitive at the highest level. And this offseason, we saw a pretty significant shift in their approach to the running game. They said goodbye to Najee Harris, the former first-round pick who had been their workhorse for a few seasons, and instead they made a bold move in the 2025 NFL Draft by selecting Caleb Johnson out of Iowa in the 3rd round. Johnson, a powerhouse runner, really made a name for himself in college. In his final year at Iowa, he rushed for over 500 yards and scored 21 touchdowns. Those are eye-popping stats, especially for someone stepping into the NFL with high expectations. The Steelers clearly see potential in him, and he's got the size, the speed, and the vision to become a long-term solution in their backfield. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While the Steelers are optimistic about Johnson's future, there's a lot of speculation about whether they might add more talent to their running back room. And the name that keeps popping up is none other than Nick Chubb, the veteran running back from the Cleveland Browns. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Chubb has dealt with injuries over the past couple of seasons, which has limited his playing time. In fact, since 2023, he's only appeared in about 10 games and his production has taken a hit. In 2024, he played just 8 games, rushing for a modest 332 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging just 3.2 yards per carry. That's not the Chubb we remember from a few years ago when he was one of the most explosive, most powerful runners in the league. But don't let those numbers fool you entirely, because Chubb's talent, his physicality, and his ability to break tackles are still there. At 29, he's not quite the workhorse back he used to be, but he's still a very valuable piece, especially for a team like the Steelers, which prides itself on a tough, physical run game. Chubb's style would fit perfectly with Arthur Smith's offensive philosophy, emphasizing power, control of the clock, and physicality at the line of scrimmage. And let's be honest, his experience would be a huge plus for a younger running back like Caleb Johnson to learn from. Having a veteran like Chubb in the room could be the difference between a decent season and a great one. Now, the financial side of things is interesting. Spotrac estimates that Chubb could be available on a 1-year deal around $3 million. And Pittsburgh, with around $31 million in cap space, has plenty of room to make that happen without breaking the bank. So financially, it's a no-brainer. The Steelers could add a proven physical back who can handle short yardage situations and even serve as a backup or change of pace option. Plus, his presence would alleviate some of the pressure on Najee Harris's old role, especially as Harris has struggled with injuries and consistency. Some fans might be concerned about Chubb's recent injury history, and that's understandable. But injuries are part of the game, and if he's healthy, he can still provide tremendous value. Think about how he would complement Johnson's youth and potential. Chubb can be the hammer, the guy who grinds out tough yards in critical situations. And Caleb Johnson, with his fresh legs and talent, could learn a lot from a guy like Chubb, someone who's been through the ups and downs of the league and still manages to produce when healthy. That mentorship could be invaluable for the Steelers' long-term plans at the position. You know, the Steelers have always been about building a tough, resilient team. From the days of the Steel Curtain to recent seasons where they've relied on their defense and running game, that identity hasn't changed. They're looking for players who can embody that grit, that physicality that's synonymous with Pittsburgh football. Adding a veteran like Nick Chubb, even if just for a season, could be a strategic move to keep that identity alive while young talent like Johnson develops. It's a smart play, a way to add depth, experience, and toughness to a position that has seen some inconsistency in recent years. And let's not forget, the AFC North is a division that's only getting tougher. The Cincinnati Bengals are loaded on offense, the Baltimore Ravens have revamped their running game and added Lamar Jackson's dual-threat capabilities, and even the Cleveland Browns, who are still trying to find consistency, are always contenders when their roster is healthy. The Steelers need to respond, and that could mean making smart, calculated moves like bringing in a player of Chubb's caliber. It's about winning now, but also setting themselves up for sustained success down the road. Looking at the broader picture, the Steelers have been a team that's always been about resilience and adaptability. They've had their ups and downs, but year after year, they find ways to stay competitive. The 2023 season was a bit of a roller coaster, with moments of brilliance but also some inconsistencies. The defense remains elite, anchored by players like TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick, but the offense has been trying to find that perfect balance, especially in the running game. That's why the potential addition of Chubb could be a game-changer. His ability to provide a physical punch, to wear down defenses, and to be a reliable option in clutch situations could elevate this team to a new level. It's also worth mentioning that the Steelers have a history of making shrewd moves in free agency and drafts. From adding Troy Polamalu in the early 2000s to drafting Ben Roethlisberger, they've always looked for players who fit their culture and can contribute immediately. Bringing in Chubb, even if just for a short-term deal, would follow that tradition. It's about leveraging experience, talent, and grit to push the team closer to their ultimate goal, another Super Bowl victory. And don't forget, Chubb's arrival would also send a message to the division. Pittsburgh is not standing still. They're not just relying on their defense or a young quarterback in Kenny Pickett. They're actively building a balanced, formidable team that can compete at the highest level. The AFC North is a war zone and every move counts. Bringing in a player like Chubb, even if he's past his prime, signals that the Steelers are serious about contending and that they're willing to make bold moves to stay ahead. Of course, this is all speculation for now, but the signs point to the Steelers being interested. Their cap space is ample, their need for a reliable running back is evident, and Chubb's experience and physicality could be exactly what they need to push over the edge. It's exciting to think about how this could unfold. Imagine a tandem of Johnson's youth and potential with Chubb's power and veteran savvy. That's a duo that could terrorize defenses all season long. And for us Steelers fans, this is what makes the offseason so thrilling: the anticipation, the strategic moves, the hope that this team can take that next step towards another Super Bowl run. We've seen the Steelers do it before, and with the right additions, they can do it again. The future looks bright, and it's always better when we're in the middle of the action, analyzing every move, every signing, every play that could define the next chapter of Steelers football. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think about this potential move, Steelers fans? Do you believe Nick Chubb could be the missing piece that propels them back into serious Super Bowl contention? Would you like to see them go all in and sign him? Or do you think they should focus on their young talent and build through the draft? Whatever your thoughts are, I want to hear them. Drop your comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the Steelers organization. We're all in this together, cheering for our team, hoping for greatness. And remember, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and deep dives into everything Steelers and NFL. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, let's keep the Steelers spirit alive.